Today I'd like to talk about relaxation. Vocal strain is a huge issue for singers. It's one of the top concerns that people come to voice lessons for. The feeling that you're not using your voice efficiently or you're experiencing pain or discomfort when you sing, those are huge concerns, and they're valid concerns. If you're experiencing any pain or tension in the muscles around your voice, then you're most likely not using your voice to its full efficiency, right? Your voice can get really open and can stretch farther in its range when you're nice and relaxed, when all of the muscles involved are really free of tension and working efficiently. So today we're going to do something a little bit different, a bit of kind of meditation yoga practice to start. There's two huge reasons why you might be experiencing vocal tension, and those two reasons are really on the forefront of what we're going through right now. One of those reasons for strain and tension is stress, which makes sense, right? If you're stressed, those shoulders are coming up, your jaw might be getting clenched. Stress causes a lot of tension, especially in the muscles around where we sing. The neck, the shoulders, the jaw, the face muscles, all of those are involved in singing. And when they get really tight, our voice is going to have a hard time functioning at max capacity. So stress is a huge factor in discomfort right now. And the other big factor in vocal strain is our posture. And again, right now, we're probably dealing with not amazing posture. I know that I'm spending a significant amount of time at computers and at my phone, so my neck is really cranked over most of the day. I'm also spending a lot of the day sitting in uncomfortable chairs. You know, the chairs that we have at home to work aren't necessarily going to be as ergonomic as what we had at work, perhaps. Just in general, our attention right now is taking a hit. Our posture is taking a hit. So we're going to try to deal with these two issues. We're going to try to calm the fight or flight, which can really, really help with all kinds of tension when you're singing, but also just helps with life, right? So we're going to calm down that fight or flight, deal with the stress that we're experiencing. Then we're also going to see if we can straighten out our posture today. So really easy way for us to do both of these things. What I want you to do is find a place to lay down flat on the floor. So maybe you need to pause this recording for a second. Maybe you have a yoga mat. If you don't, laying on the hard floor is totally fine. Or even laying on your bed is okay, but what I don't want is for you to have pillows under your neck. I really want that head to be flat on the floor and your spine to be flat on the floor. So take a second and go grab something, or just find a nice space in your floor to lay down flat. Pause the recording and come back when you're all set. So now what I want you to do, laying down on the floor, I want you to have your head, the back of your head touching whatever you're laying on. So again, if you're laying on your bed, just no pillows beneath your head. I want you to find a place in your bed that you can just lay completely flat, or on the floor, on a yoga mat, whatever works. But the back of your head is on the floor, okay? I want your chin tucked just ever so slightly so that your spine is straight, okay? If your chin's up, then we might have a little bit of a bend in the spine up in your neck, all right? So that chin is just tucked slightly, not a ton, just slightly, so that your spine is straight in the neck, okay? So we're laying flat on the floor. Your back is nice and flush to your mat or to your bed or whatever. What I want you to do is bring your knees up so that your feet are also flat on the floor or the bed, okay? So your knees should be up, but your feet should also be in line with the floor. That way your back can get really flush against the floor, all right? If it's comfortable, you can put your knees together and let your feet kind of go out to the side just a little bit. Sometimes it's easier to keep your knees settled. But what we're really looking for is from the crown of your head to your tailbone to be really straight on the ground. So imagine that whole spine from the crown of your head all the way to your tailbone is just totally straight on the ground. Sometimes we experience a little bit of an arch in the hips, like right above your bum, that we get a little bit of a curve there. That's totally natural, but just for a second, I want you to try to point your tailbone down toward your feet so that your spine is totally flush to the mat. You might feel a little bit of an engagement in your core here. That's totally fine. We're just going to hold that for a second. Point that tailbone down toward your feet and get your spine totally flush on the mat. Take a nice deep breath in. And then you can let that position go and just lay naturally again. But you should feel a little bit more straightness in your spine after doing just that quick exercise. So I want us right here to take 7 deep breaths together. This is just calming down any fear and anxiety that you've experienced today. It's getting your spine nice and straight again without you having to really do much of anything. So we're going to take 7 deep breaths. So breathe in through your nose and let it all go through your mouth. And again, in and out. Feel yourself melting into the floor. And in and out. Feel the ground underneath you really supporting you through this. In and out. Letting go of all the stress of the day. In and out. Focusing only on your breath. In and out. Last one, let's take the deepest breath that we've taken all day. And the nicest sigh that we've taken all day. Wonderful. Now we're going to slowly start to really find a lot of relaxation in all the different muscles in our body, okay? So it's a little counterintuitive, but a great way to do this is by tensing muscles in our body and then letting them go. And you can really become very aware and present to the tension in your muscles. And then when you let it go, you feel a wave of relaxation and a lot of blood rushing to that area. So this can be really good to practice, not just before you sing, but every day. Maybe at the end of your day after a stressful, working from home day, or the beginning of the day to set yourself up for a nice calm morning at least, right? So first things first, what I want you to do is bring your head up off the floor just a little bit, like you're doing a little ab crunch. You feel lots of kind of tension and a little bit of strain even in your neck, right? Keep that going for just a second. Take a nice deep breath and then let it go. And feel the way that your neck muscles just melt down onto the floor. Now what I want you to do is crinkle up your forehead. So crinkle up your eyebrows, take a nice deep breath, and let those go. And feel the tension in your brow just melt away. Now I want you to scrunch up your eyes. So squeeze your eyes nice and tight. You might crinkle your nose a little bit. Take a deep breath. And let all that tension in your eyes just go, just melt away. And open the eyes again softly, aware of the muscles around your eyes becoming nice and relaxed. This time I want to crinkle your nose and purse your lips up so you get all kind of your cheek muscles and your lip muscles really tight. So squeeze your nose, purse your lips up toward your nose, take a deep breath in, and let them all go. Now open up your jaw as wide as it can go. Stick your tongue out. We'll get those tongue muscles really, really kind of activated here. Take a deep breath in and let them go. Good. Now it's a little bit tricky flat on the floor, but I want you to crunch your shoulders up to your ears. Take a deep breath in with those shoulders crunched and then let them go again. Good. All right. Now let's do a little bit of a crunch again. We're going to stretch out the spine. So bring your neck up again and just stretch your spine all the way. Kind of tense in the spine there. Curl it up. And then lay flat on the floor again. Breathe out. Awesome. Okay. Now tense up the abdomen. We've done this already by pointing the tailbone down toward our feet. However works for you. If you can just get a little bit of crunch in your core, Tighten up those abdomens, take a deep breath in, and then let them go. Feel your body just melting into the ground underneath you. All right, awesome. Now I want you to pull your knees in to wherever feels comfortable. Give yourself a big hug with your knees coming in. And bring your neck up toward your knees, your forehead up toward your knees, so your whole body's kind of in a nice big crunch. Breathe in here, and then let everything go. Put your feet back on the floor. Awesome. Okay, now laying on our back, again, we're nice and flush to the ground. Your spine is really straight. It would be wonderful if when you were singing your spine were this straight. That can be tough to do, especially when our days are full of bad posture right now, right? So as much as you can, maybe every day, spend a couple of minutes flat on the floor like this, your spine will get a little bit more straightened out, and the habitual posture problems that we're experiencing might get a little straightened out if you practice this every day. So we're nice and flat on the floor. The next thing we're going to do is just open up our jaw. And I don't want you to open it a ton. I just want you to hang your jaw loose for a second. And then I want you to take one hand and just open up the jaw a little bit by putting a couple of your fingers on your chin. Just let the jaw hang open. I'm going to take 2 deep breaths with this open, relaxed jaw here, okay? So breathe in and out and in and let it go. Awesome. Okay, now I want you to sit up nice and straight. If the floor feels good for you to sit cross-legged and keep your back straight, then that's fine. But I actually think for most of us, it'd be a lot easier to go find a chair. So if you can find a chair to sit up nice and straight in, that would be wonderful. So you can pause the recording for a second and go find a nice, comfortable but sturdy chair to sit up nice and tall in. Okay, so now you're sitting in your chair. I want you to sit up toward the edge of your seat so you can feel the sits bones, the bony part of your bum, nice and firm on that chair. So up toward the edge of your seat. Okay, this is another issue we have with posture. When we're leaning toward the back of our chairs, especially when we're working and we're cranking our neck over at computers all day, the spine can really get a little bit funky and our hips can hold a lot of tension, right? Straightening up the spine is going to help us with singing, and it's just going to help us with life, okay? So your feet are flat on the ground underneath you, and your chin is parallel to the floor, so we don't want to tuck the chin, we don't want to put it out too much either. So stay sitting up nice and tall, and I want you to just reach up toward the sky with both hands and take a deep breath here, nice and long through your spine. So breathe in and breathe out. Wonderful. Okay, now take your 2 hands. I want you to keep your bum flat on the chair. So there's going to be a temptation for one side of your bum to lift up, but I want you to keep them nice and straight. This is a spine stretch, so keep that bottom really, really equal on your seat, okay? I want you to take both of these hands and stretch toward the right side. Keep that left buttock on your seat. Breathe in and out. And bring the hands up toward the middle again. Breathe in up here and out. Now we're going to stretch toward the left side. Keep your right bum flat on that seat. Breathe in and out and up. Back up toward the center. Good. Now very slowly breathe in with your hands in the center like this over your head. And then breathe out and slowly bring the arms down to the sides. And bring them down so they're hanging down next to your legs. So they're hanging down next to your legs. I want you to take one more deep breath in. On your breath out, just imagine the shoulders are getting really heavy. One more breath in. And breathe out with your hands and your shoulders getting really heavy by your side. Good. Now stay in your seat, and the next part of our lesson, we're going to do some little bit of massaging of these tense muscles and a little bit of singing to start loosening up all of your neck, jaw, shoulder, tongue, all the muscles involved in singing. All right, see you in a second.